The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to the Pharisees, "There was a rich man who dressed in purple garments and fine linen and dined sumptuously each day. And lying at his door was a poor man named Lazarus, covered with sores, who would gladly have eaten his fill of the scraps that fell from the rich man's tables. Dogs even used to come and lick his sores. When the poor man died, he was carried away by angels to the bosom of Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried, and from the netherworld where he was in torment, he raised his eyes and saw Abraham far off and Lazarus at his side. And he cried out, 'Father Abraham, have pity on me. Send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am suffering torment in these flames.' Abraham replied, 'My child, remember that you received what was good during your lifetime, while Lazarus likewise received what was bad. But now he is comforted here, whereas you are tormented. Moreover, between us and you, a great chasm is established, to prevent anyone from crossing who might wish to go from our side to yours, or your side to ours.' He said, 'Then I beg you, Father, send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, so that he may warn them, lest they too come to this place of torment.' But Abraham replied, 'They have Moses and the prophets. Let them listen to them.' He said, 'Oh no, Father Abraham, but if someone from the dead goes to them, they will repent.' Then Abraham said, 'If they will not listen to Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded if someone should rise from the dead.'" The Gospel of the Lord. An hourglass shows the passing of time. We can see the grains of sand fall from the upper container to the lower. This is from a game. It's a very limited amount of time. We have more time than that, hopefully, but our time is limited. I remember Father Dave telling me a story about once when Bishop Untner was here for Mass. And he had a chart that indicated, had all different ages and what your life expectancy was at these different ages. And he asked several people their age, and they told him, and he said how long they could expect to live. A teenager had many years to live. Somebody a little older had a few less years. He asked one elderly gentleman, and he was told his age, and he looked at the chart, and he looked at him, and he said, "Don't buy green bananas," as only Bishop Untner could say. God's not limited by time. God's mercy is not limited in any way. God's mercy can extend beyond this world. There is judgment, that's clear in the scriptures, but I don't believe there's a chasm that God's mercy can't cross. What we have in this world is an opportunity to be a part of God's mercy. We aren't called to travel great distances. We aren't called to do heroic acts. We're called just to see the people around us and care for them. The first thing we have to do is we have to see them. The rich man never noticed Lazarus at his door. Sometimes we pretend not to see people, so I won't feel obligated. I don't see that person over there. I can walk past them. Lazarus is the only person who was ever named in one of the parables of Jesus. Jesus made him real. He gave him dignity. We have to see people and see their dignity as human beings. Once we see them, we have to go to them. We have to respond, because the door only opens from the inside. They can't get in. We have to go to them. We have to engage with them. We can't assume we know their needs. And then we have to respond. We can't do everything, but we can do a lot. And we can't let what we can't do stop us from doing what we can do. Some people think that Jesus came out of the blue with his teaching 2,000 years ago. But the roots of the teaching of Jesus are found in Moses and in the prophets. Moses was on the scene 1,200 years before Jesus. The prophets like Amos came in the centuries in between. Jesus built on that teaching 2,000 years ago. And we have continued to develop that teaching ever since. For 3,000 years, over 3,000 years, the teaching has been the same. See people, see their dignity as human beings, and care for them. Our actions are the testimony we give. This is our time.